All right. So, I am going to play some Grim Dawn, and I might be joined by some others in the near future. So let me just go on to Grim Dawn, and let me adjust the audio for a minute. So, this game is one of my favorite RPGs. It's an ARPG, that is. And I'm going to start with a female character and go in hardcore. So, if I die, the file is deleted immediately. What should my name be? What would it be? Winterflower. How about Winterflower? Sure. Alright, we start off as a basic human, and everything looks good. We'll start. And we'll watch a quick cutscene.
We paid a heavy price, but the trap worked.
You seem surprised.
It's been a while since we've had a win. How long will it hold?
I've never entrapped a being like this, but the bonds hold, for now.
How do we dispose of it?
I'm just a witch. You're the soldier.
If it bleeds, I can kill it.
How do you kill a spirit, though?
If you kill the mortal vessel while it's bound, the spirit may perish within. If it escapes...
It's listening to us.
That is our character.
What are you?
Others of your kind name us ethereal.
Why have you invaded our world?
Your world. We existed first, but were managed by your corrupt gods. Your kind opened the way, and now we return to claim what by right should be ours.
I've heard enough of this rubbish. Let's hang it.
Destroy this vessel, and I will find another. I have tasted its desires and emotions. Your kind is weak. You have already lost this war.
Do it.
Oh boy.
Captain!
Cut him down.
What? Are you mad? Better safe than sorry.
The spirit has fled!
This is a human now.
Classic.
The captain is correct. When they awaken, they won't remember a thing.
The ethereal was right. The war is lost. We're a resistance now, and we need every human survivor we can call to our cause. Maybe this one here can still die with some honor. If they ever wake up, send them to me. If they don't, bury him deep with the others.
God, I love his voice. Voice actors were great.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah. This is one hell of an opening.
Yeah, right? Oh, it was so good. Where did you come in?
Just as they were getting him down from the noose.
Yeah, so in essence, you were corrupted by an ethereal, and they were like, how do you kill an ethereal? And they had a quick conversation, hung him, and the ethereal left the body, and the one guy was like, okay, they're now human, and we need every human we can get. Here's Hangman Jarvis. What happened? How did I get here?
What is the name of the game?
This is called Grim Dawn, and I am playing hardcore veteran. So if I die for good. Where's this captain? And I'll be on my way. So this is one of my favorite ARPGs. You have amazing skill trees, absolutely bonkers. Talk to John Bourbon. He's going to give me a quick quest to go look for how to defeat these more ethereal creatures. And what do you want me to do? I have to go to Burial Hill, and I'm going to kill the reanimated corpses. And, of course, you start off as level 1. You're pretty weak sauce, but that's going to change very quickly. So, of course, they have to call them Walking Dead because zombies is trademark, which I would think that Walking Dead is now trademarked after the Walking Dead show, but I guess not.
It might be only trademarked in terms of a show, but not the actual creatures.
Well, if you look down at the bottom of the screen, you can see my health and my energy or stamina. And so my health is, of course, the red, but the yellow bar right there, that's my constitution. So if you watch, it will go really fast, but my constitution will go down. So it's a really nice way of getting things, of keeping things moving, I think. Instead of like waiting around for your health to regen, you just wait for your constitution to regen. You get more constitution by eating food or vitality. And yeah, it's in my opinion, great system. Tonic of healing, so it's going to just heal me if I press R, which I will do if I'm low health, and I don't have constitution, or I just don't want to run away or whatever. There's a lot of different kinds of monsters and beasts, tons and tons of different kinds of monsters. That's what I really like about this game. All right, so looking at my character, you can see we have physique, cunning, and spirit. Physique is like your health. Cunning is like how well you can hit things, and spirit is your energy. I think I'm going to go a full spirit mode type of character. I want to be a Arcanist, and what I really want is the Aether Ray. This is the thing that I'm going to go for, and I should hit it by tonight, I hope. It's pretty freaking powerful, and we're going to do some crazy stuff with it. But this is the skill tree. You can see it gets real freaking complicated, and you get to choose 2 different classes. So we have Soldier, Demolitionist, Occultist, Nightblade, Arcanist, Shaman, Inquisitor, Necromancer, and Oathkeeper. And there are certain builds that you can do that are better than others, but I'm just going to go a straight Arcanist build with maybe some Soldier for the defense aspect of their build. But mostly I'm going for this Aether Ray and the Devastation, which is like a meteor swarm. But as you increase your level in this particular section, you can see physique, cunning, spirit, health, and energy go up. And these are different for each class that you choose. Obviously, I get more spirit and less physique with this one, whereas if I would have chosen something else, it would have given me different things. So right now, I think what I want is just to get me to this point, and I can respec later. So I'm going to delete all of this, all the things that I spec into later. But yep, go ahead. What's up?
Where are the white women at?
Sam? All right.
I was told there would be white women.
I don't think there are. Actually, I am a white woman. If you zoom in, there he is. She's whacking some Walking Dead. While in this game, it really rewards searching around. You really have to look around to find lots of hidden things. For instance, I've played this game a lot. I have about 1,000 hours in this game. It's just so much fun to mindlessly play sometimes when you're listening to podcasts and stuff. But you find one of the better weapons in the game right from the start. And you also can read all the different notes. It is a loot-heavy game, way more than like Diablo or anything like that. But you can choose what kind of things you have. But yeah, any kind of questions that you guys might have, let me know. Brad, how was your day?
Pretty good. Some rather interesting stuff coming out of Europe today.
Coming out of Europe?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Brad is a poli-sci kind of guy, and he is very politically minded, especially in the foreign affairs. Is that right?
Foreign affairs and international relations.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main.
He's also a poly-bi kind of guy, if you know what I mean.
Told you that in confidence.
Pretty sure you told me that on stream.
That's possible.
Okay.
But, Poland got hit.
Yes, they did.
Whoopsie.
All right, I'm going to update more spirit. And I'm just going to keep on feeding this until I get... I think I want something like Koldir's Tempest for now, just to get an extra oomph whenever I'm attacking things. Jeremy, how are you? How's life?
Poland got hit by a missile today.
And does that...
No.
Are they in NATO?
Yeah.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Just technically attacked a NATO country.
But the thing is, they don't know exactly who hit them. It could have been like a... Because they confirmed, I think it's an S-300 missile, which is an anti-aircraft air defense system, but Ukraine and Russia use it, so it's like... I think they're working it out. Or they already know, and obviously they're just not saying anything. Does the game get paused when you're in the inventory?
Nope.
Or is it...
You press spacebar to pause, but you can press this, and you can still move around and still get hit. I've definitely died like that many times. So you got to be careful. Or you press spacebar just to pause the whole thing.
Yeah, one of these days I'll need to have a afternoon like learning time with you guys to show you how to set it so you can have your Twitch comments overlaying all your game.
Yeah, if anyone comments, let me know.
I'm managing that. I'm managing it.
I'm sure we have so many comments right now.
We have Blair.
Oh, Blair's here. Sweet. All right, well, here's our first hero, and I just leveled up again. Heroes drop little balls of, what do you call them? Just stuff, and you can see all the fancy stuff that you get. I think I want more lightning stuff. And you can also, eventually you're going to get, there's so much items in this game, so many items in this game, so, I can turn off common, so I'll show you. So I drop the leather coat, and if I just turn off common, you can't even see it anymore, so you don't have to pick it up, because your hub is going to just get cluttered to hell. But anyway, let me level up real fast. I think I need a little bit of physique, because you always need some physique, but I still want to just level up that a lot more. Just whack cave. Walking Dead. And once I do the first mission, I'm going to do something called the Crucible, and hope I don't die. But it's a kind of an easy way to cheese leveling up to level 14 really fast. Learned it while playing this game, and it's not cheating. I don't think it's cheating. Just kind of levels you up really freaking fast instead of the slow-mo that we're doing right now.
Yeah, you gotta stay in the forest killing bears.
I think it was boars.
You're absolutely right.
Alright, Kolidor's Tempest is weak as hell. Oh no, I'm dying. Corruptions. Bastards.
Reminds me of Path of Exile a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, it is very similar. Have you ever played Titan Quest and Titan Quest 2? It's the same makers.
I have not.
Okay.
So pretty much everybody that was trying to help me figure out this game that is like tickling the back of my brain has dropped out because they're all convinced at this point that I've dreamed up this game and it doesn't actually exist.
Wait, what game?
There's this. Okay, so like a year or two ago, I remember playing this 2D soft pixel side-scroller platformer game that was in science fiction genre, and I'm pretty sure I was playing as a female protagonist in full sci-fi armor, and I was like exploring like this abandoned facility, and you would like go underground, you'd find different things, you'd find your different power-ups, like how to wall jump, double jump, slide, and all that jazz. And like they were like little it's my definitely not Metroid game exactly, Blair. And
I'm
like,
telling you,
I don't
it's
know.
gotta be Metroid.
It sounds
not
like Metroid.
It's not Metroid, but there are a billion Metroidvania style games, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of third parties.
And I have spent 10 plus hours searching through Google, through fucking itch.co lists, through Steam. I was 90% sure I played it on Stadia, and I have looked through every single Stadia game ever released, and there's nothing like this on there. It's not in my Steam library. If I had ever bought it, it would be there. It's not on any of my other game launchers that I have access to, so I have no idea where I could have played this game, but my brain knows that I've played this game, and I can see it in my head when I think about it, but I cannot find a single trace of this game anywhere. And it's so, like, literally, I feel like there is a thumbtack pressing on a part of my brain all day long, telling me that you have to find this game, and it just doesn't exist.
Is it possible it was unlisted for some reason?
Or taken off Stadia.
Maybe. Like, no, I mean, I looked at, like, a full release, like, and not just from Stadia, but from, like, third-party sources. And I can't find anything at all. It is so absolutely infuriating, and I don't know why it would have been delisted. I don't remember anything like NSFW about it, unless there was like a cease and desist or something. Maybe they stole something or whatnot, but I don't know. I'm so fucking frustrated right now.
All right, I would like to pause Jeremy's frustration with what I just found here. Guys, I've been using Colidor's Tempest for 5 minutes, and there's a bajillion skills out there. And the fact that this dropped is like 1 in a million. It is a rare item, which doesn't happen at level 5. It's very rare. And it adds 2 to Colidor's Tempest, plus 50% crit damage, plus 100% Aether damage converted to fire, and lightning damage converted to fire. This is freaking crazy, what I just found, and I'm also going to do that. So now, if you look at Colidor's Tempest, it was 4 before, but now just upgraded to level 6 because of that item alone. It's as if I gained another level. Unbelievable. And even though it goes as high as 16, that's really not as high as it can go. It can go as high as, I believe, 24, because you can get items that will level up your abilities. Now, obviously, as you get higher level, you can find better items than this eventually, but to find this at level 5 is I'm probably going to be using this for many, many levels. Unbelievable. Anyway.
You got wicked lucky.
Ridiculously lucky. And then up here, I'm not going to do it just yet, but up here is a ruined shrine. Look at that. Oh, Colidor's Tempest is so OP now. So anyway, this is a ruined shrine, and you can give it something to offer, and you will get what is known as devotion points. Now, this is the skill tree for devotion points. So if you zoom in, you can see all the different constellations. It's really, really cool, but you pretty much start out with either red, blue, yellow, green, or purple, and you can navigate through the tree, and there's so much customization to this. So again, we're going to go for that Aether fire damage. So most likely I'm going to go with the Imp first, because it offers some extra plus 15% fire damage and Aether damage, some spirit, some defensibility, physique, and Aether resistance, and so on and so forth. And then you get an active ability, Aether fire, which will definitely add on to the amount of damage you can do. And I'll probably continue with that for a little bit of time. I'll probably look to get some defense stuff too, because my boy is real squishy. But let's go back, and let's get back into over here and talk to Bourbon. I killed the reanimator. Yes, a creature, of course. It is disturbing. All right, beautiful. You get plus reputation, and you get some iron, which is the currency. And I will speak to these individuals, and he's like the scientist who helps you figure out more things about this world. And I'm going to offer him an Aether Crystal, and I get a skill point. And I'm going to... So, let's first do this. Probably want a little bit more spirit. And... Ooh, okay. Should I... Ooh, this is tough. Do I make my... Okay, so if I were to do this, so let's get to there first. If I were to do this, this would completely revamp Coldor's Tempest. It would cost 30 more energy. It would have a recharge time. Right now, it has no recharge time. It would use a little bit more percentage of my main hand damage. The total damage modified by 170%, and it could knock down targets for 1.5 seconds. Or make it just a spammable thing and cost much less energy. What do you think I should do?
Feed it a baby.
Okay, we're doing it. It is now a big ol' explosion. All right, let's talk to this guy. He's going to give me a quick some iron to take down some individuals. And this guy, he wants scrap. And I'm not going to get him any scrap just yet because I am poor. I'm going to sell all this crap. And you can auto-sort, which is really nice about this game, too. I'm going to look for... I want a dagger or a scepter, but it doesn't look like they're selling anything yet. And I also probably want some elixir spirits. Can't really buy too many of them. And I'm going to go into here. Thank you. He's just letting me into the prison. This is where I can see a bunch of other NPCs. More quests. Again, take down someone or look for someone who got changed into a Walking Dead. Find a scrawled note. We can read it for some quick experience. I'm not going to take the time to read it because I want to level up. And again, this game is pretty forgiving. Even though I'm on hardcore and everything, you have what is called the spiritual guider, and you can, in essence, I can choose to take back this and that, and I can.
Holy shit!
Yeah, so like I could just do whatever I want. Even though I put it into here, it's not locked in. And same with devotion points. Whatever I put my devotion points in, it's not locked in. Now, I've been playing this game for over 1,000 hours, so I have a lot of things in my storage that I can transfer between hardcore characters. The highest level is level 100, and obviously legendary is the highest you can get, but these are like very high level items. You can see at the bottom, required player level 84, and you have to have a physique of so much. I'm not using any of these, obviously, because I can't. But what we can do is do something like this. And I just unlocked Elite difficulty. And do I have one for Ultimate difficulty? Doesn't look like I do. That's okay. So, in essence, what I just did, if you look at the map, I just unlocked every single portal in the game. It's one of those things, like, because I've beaten it so many times, the game allows you to buy these things that, in essence, I'm on veteran mode. Then it goes to elite mode, where you play the game all over again, but it's way harder. And then you go to ultimate mode, which you play the game all the way over again, but it's way, way harder, but it's all with the same character. So I'm going to take this character from veteran, I'm going to win the game on veteran, then I'm going to take this character and put him into elite, and then win the game on elite, and so on and so forth. So I usually beat veteran around level 50. I usually beat elite around 70, and then ultimate you go all the way to 100 if you can make it. Sometimes you die at the worst possible time, and then you get really pissed off. You invested that much time in a character, but c'est la vie. All right. So, any questions on that? All right, I'm gonna upgrade. Some physique just to get me a little more beefy, and I guess I'll put one more into Coldor's Tempest. I'm going to exit the menu, and now I'm going to show you the Crucible and Aspirant difficulty, and it follows the same kind of thing. Aspirant is like the base level, and once you beat all of that, you go to the next level, and usually it takes a while. But the reason why I'm going to do this is because you will see, in essence, you get a wave of creatures, and you have to kill them. That's the idea. And you can see there's a timer and a scorer, and depending on your score, you can get extra points, and what you get at the end depends on how many points you have, and you generally get treasure and experience at the very end. You get no experience while each wave is occurring. You only get it at the end. So I can't level up, but it gives you all the experience all at once at the end, and it's a boatload of experience. So it'll level me up real fast, which is why I like doing this. Oh yeah, Coldor's Tempest is pretty nice. How did you resist that, you bugger?
Language.
Do we have any British people on this?
I don't think.
Blair, are you British? Alright, gotta kill these Rift Scourge. Cool, cool, cool. Oh, yeah. Love it. Alright, these guys are bastards.
Is that all?
Oh, wow! They must have been not good against... Oh, that was satisfying. Here we go, here we go, here we go.
My wife just stood up and farted in my dog's face.
Revenge. Revenge.
I found the game, by the way.
What was it? What was it?
Sundered.
Sundered. I feel like I've played it. No, I haven't. Well,
I somebody had suggested that to me 5 days ago, and the image searches didn't look like it at all. But I was just watching a video of like what was it called? Like
yes,
10
Metroid
styled games that you should play, and it was like just one frame caught my eye. I was like, that's my fucking game. And I looked it up and I was like, God damn it, I cannot believe 5 days ago I could have scratched this goddamn itch.
Well, I'm happy you got to scratch it. Was it satisfying?
What was the game? Sorry, I wasn't.
It's called Sundered.
Oh. I'll be damned.
Yeah, it's for like $5 on Steam right now. It's usually 20. It's 75% off today. So all the world is like coming together for me right now.
All right, it's
That's why I found out today.
level 10, so I gotta beat this big ass guy, and I have 8 seconds to do it. Oh, Cold Earth Tempest, come on! Yes! Level 7, and wait for it. I would like to collect my reward. Level 9, baby. All right, let's level up this shiz. I got 9 points. I don't think it's going to bring me to here. So what I'm going to do is... what should I do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Activates when health drops. Yeah, that's pretty good. Ooh, that's also pretty good. You know what? Let's upgrade Cold Earth Tempest really a lot, and then maybe the next time I level up twice... maybe then we can get the Aether Ray. Alright, yeah, this is a lot of stuff. So we're going to go through it really fast to see what there is to see and change out anything. Ooh, I just saw something of the Aether. Alright. So let's see what we got. I don't think I'm going to use any offhands because the thing that we have right now is pretty much the best thing we're ever going to get. That looks really nice. A lot of health, a lot of defensibility, some nice gloves, vitality, and chaos. I'm not really going to use. Oh, this is these are my resistances over here. We got elemental resistances, poison, piercing, chaos, stun, aether, vitality, and bleeding. Depending on what section of the game you are in, you can really change these up to make sure that you are defended against that particular section. For instance, I know that the section that I'm currently in, the main campaign, is going to be a lot of poison and acid and aether damage. So I really want to beef up those pretty quickly. Chaos resistance is right there. That's mostly end game stuff, but I'll just do it right now because why not? Do I have any boots? Ooh, nice boots. And yep.
Blair's asking, no fast way to pick up items. Do you have to click on each of them?
I think there is a way in the options menu, or I think there's an extension, but
like
I just
an auto loot or something.
Yeah, an auto loot, but I don't think I've downloaded it yet. This game does have a lot of mods. It has like it's called Grim Tools, in which case you can play around with. Like if there's a rare set of armor that you always wanted but you've never found, you can use that instead and it will just summon it for you, that armor piece, and then you can just make your character that way. Is it cheating? Of course, but, who cares? It's a single-player game. It can be multiplayer, though, I should mention. So the reason why I didn't take that shrine was because right now I wish to prove my devotion. It is 3 tributes. I currently have 3 tributes, and I can do that. But eventually it will go up to 5 tributes, and it's only when you have so many devotion points. So I didn't want to take that first one just so I can get these ones at cheap. Again, a little bit of strategizing because I've played this game for a bajillion hours. But I think I'm going to go with Aether and Fire, so I think I need blue. So it unlocks all of these constellations, but I'm going to go with the Imp first. And I think that's really all that I'm going to do during my next one. So do I need anything else? I have my... All right, I have pretty much everything I can spec into right now. So now I'm hoping that this next round will be... Oh, and every time you do it, it scales with your level. So yes, it should be a little bit easier because I'm stronger, but also these guys are way stronger as well. Wow. Goodbye. Oh, love it. Also, don't go into the portal, as I've learned. Sometimes when I'm doing my devotion points, I accidentally click, and I go into the green, and it kills me. So it's really upsetting when you're on a hardcore mode. Yeah, don't laugh at me. Yeah. These guys are so annoying. Because they're so powerful, but so weak at the same time. These guys are Aether, and they do some good damage. Oof. Oof. Oh, all of them at the same time? Oh, I guess I can only affect so many at a time. There we go. Constitution, give me some health. Goodbye. And so long. And see you later. Beauteous. Okay, I'm going to do these guys first. Oh, satisfying. And now these ice guys, they slow you down, so I definitely want to take care of those guys. Alright. These magic guys are good as gone. Come, my little pretties. Oh, beautiful. These things are really cool. Look at him. Look at him. Jeremy, you'd love him.
Skeletal archers?
These guys are Cthulian Hungers.
Oh, I'm watching.
You're looking at the stream. Yeah, it's a little behind.
Yeah.
That's okay. I zoomed in for you. These guys are Sliths. Little lizard folk like, UNT.
Oh, cool. Big old teeths.
Morsel fin?
Alright, here comes the big boy.
Him. Does he call you at home? Do you have a dolphin? To train the dolphin, you must think like the dolphin. You must get inside the dolphin's head. You must, when it goes, aga, 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 you must think, aga, aga.
Is that from Ace Ventura?
Yep.
Alright, I'm going to lose this round, or at least the time bonus I'm going to lose. I have times 10, now it's only times 1, which, meh. Oh, Jesus! Oh, that was bad.
We're about 5 seconds behind you, so we get to hear the reaction before we see the stream.
Yeah. Launched a fucking rock at me. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Collecting my reward. Ugh. All right, that's level 11. I think I should have... Okay, now I can choose a second class. I'm not going to do that just yet, but I think I have enough. Oh, yeah, I definitely have enough. And what I'm going to do is first collect all the good things.
I will be streaming Sundered as soon as I get home from work tomorrow.
Awesome. All right.
I can stream during the day. I finally got my Skyrim to work.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
Love it.
Running, I think, 150 mods. And
Nice.
they did not want to cooperate.
Good luck running that with OBS running in the background.
Yeah. My computer's normally pretty good, but I can feel it a little bit laggy. All right, so what I'm going to do...
I'm just updating the broadcast title. Is this game just called Grim? Or is
Grim Dawn. Grim Dawn. All right, so I just respect. I took out everything from Colidor's Tempest, and I'm going to put it into this bad boy. Oh, yeah. All right. So now I need to get... I definitely want these pants. Physique, physical trauma, I don't care about that. Cold resistance, don't care. Physical and cunning, don't care. Don't care. Physique. I'm looking for spirit stuff and regen. Spirit, there we go. Spirit and regen. That's the kind of thing that I need. Physical, physique, don't care. So this one gives me lightning damage and energy. So I might, but casting speed, it was also, well, I don't really need casting speed. I'm using this. So I think I'll replace one of them. And then Aether damage.
I'll be right back.
All right. I definitely want the Aether damage from this. You could see 13 to 25 Aether damage because we're going to be using all Aether stuff. This gives me cunning and spirit and energy. I think I'm going to need that as well. And don't need that. Spirit and health. Yeah, I guess I do need a little bit of health, but we'll just keep that at that for now. And how's my amulet? Amulet is good. All right, so what I want to do is first do my devotion, so get a little bit more fire damage and aether damage, and have everything filled out. So now I want to go into my storage and see if I am high enough level to use ectoplasm. Yes, I am. And I'm going to need all the ectoplasm that I can use. Why? Because ectoplasm gives me 20% energy and 3 energy regenerated per second. And you'll see in a second why I will absolutely need all of that. All right, let's start this again and see how quickly it goes.
Also, FYI, for anyone who enjoys Fallout New Vegas but does not currently own it on PC, the Ultimate Edition is free with Prime Game.
All right.
You get it from GOG.com for free.
Nice. All right. Here we go. Ready? Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. This is what power really is like. And we're going to upgrade this as much as we can. It's going to get hella powerful real fast. Range is kind of annoying because it's not to the max range, but I guess can't really complain. But you can see it's sucking my energy. And that's with all the ectoplasm that I just added. So you could just imagine if I didn't have the ectoplasm attached to all of my items, just how ridiculous this would be. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Come here, boy. Oh, Jesus. All right. I don't like you. Die. And you also die. Ow! Don't stun me. Oh! Satisfying. Where's the last one? And I beat it with 16 seconds to go. I wish to collect my reward, gain a level up. Let's go physique this time and put it all into the Aether Ray. And let's just keep on going. Yeah, Blair, this would be a great time to just pick up. Always show double masteries mirror. It doesn't say. All right.
He does say you look like the wizard class in Diablo 3 with the Archon.
Ah. I have never played Diablo 3. I think I've played Diablo 2, though.
I played no Diablo.
All right, let's see what we got. lightning and electric. Nope. And pierce cold. Chaos resistance. Nope. Cool. We'll just keep it as is. Stand. All right. Next level, I'm going to get spirit and defense ability. All right. Start selling a bunch of crap. I don't really care about looking at them. I know that my gear is already pretty optimal. Ooh, never mind. Holy shit balls. That's good stuff. 5% spirit and mirror of Erectus? Sure. We'll go with it. This one is pretty good. I think I'm going to replace this one for it. Sell that. Go get some ectoplasm for my storage. And all of these things, like, you can choose used in all armor. Ectoplasm is only for head armor, rings, amulets, and medals. So you gotta, like, kind of pick and choose what you want everything to have. But then you also have relics, which will go in this spot right here. It generally opens around level 20. This usually opens up, this is your medal, opens up around level 14. So you'll get them relatively soon. But I don't really have anything to put right there right now. Oop, wrong one. All right, and just 2 more times of this, and I should be good to go back to the main story and just start cheesing through the main story. Hey, get away from that wall, damn it.
Delightful.
All right, everybody can stop panicking. I'm back.
Oh, thank God. How was your poop?
No, I was just giving Rhiannon a kiss. You know you're not.
You kiss her while you're on the toilet?
Yeah, well, exclusively. You know you're not streaming your audio, right, for the game?
I thought I was. I could have sworn that I could hear it, but...
Oh, wait, never mind. I'm on Discord, so I can't hear your game. That's why. Okay, cool.
Okay. Trying to scare me. All right.
Did Brad already read you the chat messages?
Depends on where.
You look like a wizard class in Diablo 3 with the Archon.
Got it.
If you remember the laser beam, I played it full glass cannon mode, popping everything with my beam of energy.
Ah.
Oh, Blair, just wait until our epic level campaign and you get to meet Diav.
Fucking Diav. Could you tell us about Diav?
So Diav is my Gandalf wizard that I created on our first campaign with Jesse. And I created one. I just thought we were going to have like a fun little hurrah of a campaign, and it turned into something way more serious.
Oh my God. So much more serious.
And yeah, speaking of glass cannons, I used to piss Jesse off because I used to use animate objects on a handful of ball bearings.
Yep.
And instead of having me roll for each ball bearing, he would just have me roll once. And so on a bonus action every turn, I would be doing like 64 damage at level 12. And he would be so angry. I would literally be blowing through shit.
I was also a very young DM and didn't know how to handle it because, like, you know, you're still learning. And I was like, how do I handle this? I don't know. So it was a good learning experience. I learned how to handle that kind of thing.
Well, and speaking of the canon portion of it, he was a homebrewed School of the Magic Missile.
That's
so I
right.
got additional magic missiles on every time I shot magic missiles. So I could basically just do a bunch of damage that was instant damage, and I didn't have to roll for it. So, yeah. I can't wait to play level 20 plus with that character. It's going to be pretty wacky.
I'm going to need to look at his class again to with my now mature DM eyes to make sure he is not too overpowered.
I mean, you could definitely look at it. I don't think he's any more overpowered than any other wizard class. Wizards just get crazy.
Yeah. In the epic handbook, it even says with spells like, be respectful, spells etiquette 101, don't use simulacrum, don't use wish, or don't abuse it at least, you know?
Right. Well, so the thing is that, whatever time frame this game is going to take place, Diav has already been abusing those for quite a long time. So it's like, Step into my multiplanar home. This is my components closet with all my 20,000 rubies and 70,000 diamonds. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're gonna put a limit to that.
Does that count towards soul coins as well?
Dib and Diab are gonna have so much fun together.
I am going to limit all of your resources when you first start, because that's just gonna be crazy. Are you gonna play Muad'Dib before the Warforged or after the Warforged?
After.
Alright.
He was squishy enough for the Warforged and not going back.
With a free enlarge spell.
Yeah. And no strength to use.
Alright, here we go. Big boss. Ooh! That thing is so strong. And it stuns. Beautiful. And I should hit level 14 at this point. And that is the end part. So I think I need a little bit more health. And max level for the Aether Ray. Gorgeous. Ooh, a blue. You also can get sets in this game. Armor sets are usually the best sets in the game, but it's impossible to find them all. That's why you have good storage. I found that I try to only store legendary items because the storage just fills up way too fast. And if I were to do sets, it would have to be of a high level, just because the lower level sets, you're going to blow through those levels anyway. So, like, why even have them? Don't need it. Cold, Aether Resistance, Fizzy, Cunning, don't care.
I was just thinking of my super fucking effective Princess Queen Amidala move at the end of that campaign, where Diab had created a simulacrum of himself, but overnight I messaged you secretly that he switched clothes with his simulacrum.
Yeah, I remember this.
And then just like turned invisible and like was already halfway across the battlefield to Katarina before the battle started.
Redonkulous.
Good times.
Good times. I actually really liked Diab. In all true honesty, like, he was actually one of my favorite characters. Him and Muad'Dib were definitely up there.
Oh, you didn't like Brit Rep? Hijacking a ship?
Oh, I actually did mean Brit Rep. I literally thought, I saw Brit Rep in my head, and I was like, and I thought of that, but I guess I just had a mental lapse.
Since we have a captive Blair audience, so Brad's character Brit Rap was like
the problem player.
Yeah, the problem player,
but in the good way.
Who also was connected to like Tiamat and Asmodeus and all them, and he had stolen the plane jumping ship that we had acquired and taking it to the Nine Hells. While the rest of us were trying to get Diab's daughter back in the Abyss. And so, like, we didn't know what his plan was. He said he was going to go get us a legion of demons or whatever. We're like, yeah, fucking right. This dude just stole our ship and is never coming back. And one of our players had a wish left, and she gifted it to me. And I wished that the gods would turn his heart, which flipped his alignment from, I think were you chaotic evil or lawful evil?
Lawful evil.
So from lawful evil to chaotic good. And that happened just at the moment where he's standing in front of Tiamat with Asmodeus standing next to her. All of a sudden his alignment flips. It was this big oh shit moment for him. It was just,
I'm so happy that you remember that moment.
It was poetically beautiful.
I will never.
And then he had to fucking like run and escape the fucking Nine Hells.
That makes me so happy that you remember that, because as a new DM, I was fucking just, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just making up as I went. Like, that is actually one of my favorite moments. Oh, God.
Those are always my favorite moments in roleplay. That's what makes Dungeons and Dragons so much fun, is just when you just let things happen,
All right, remember that guy that took forever to go down? Oh, he's dead. Oh, yeah. Hey, look! I found another one.
So they respawn if you leave an area?
They respawn if you exit to the main menu and then come back, yeah. But certain enemies are one-time enemies. It just depends on which ones. That's pretty rare, though. What do we get? Nothing. All right, so I just got my first divine shrine, or devotion shrine. And now we are going to add this ability. So a small burst of aether fire erupts at your target's feet. So 3-second duration, 2.5 meter radius, 54 fire damage, 142 aether damage, and 10% chance to confuse the target for 2 seconds. As I use, it's connected to the aether ray ability. As I use that ability, it will utilize the aether fire ability, and then that aether fire ability will level up every time like I do damage or kill something. And you can see the experience points, and then level 2, level 3, and so on. I think it goes up to 25 or 30. So again, you're going to have this for a long time, and I could switch this out eventually when I get some better stuff later down the road. I think like right here, this one's Fissure. A fissure opens up in the earth, spewing lava and brimstone. Does a lot more damage, but it'll take me a while to get to that constellation. So for now, I'm going to just upgrade this one. Now I'm just going to go back. And we are going to help Barnabas with the water. So we repaired the water mechanism, but apparently the water is poisoned because there are some sliths that have corrupted the water supply. So we are going to fix the water supply for them. Brad, you had said before you wanted to bring up biology ideas for D&D.
It's just kind of like a general discussion of like, you know, like, obviously taken with a grain of salt in reality, but like, if something evolved to breathe fire, how would that kind of work without, you know, self-immolating?
So, for those that don't know, my PhD is in molecular genetics. I'm currently getting my PhD. I have not defended yet, but I am, I think, in my 5th year. So I'm really close in biology. So I'm pretty decent at this. Also, this is the first hidden spot. You can see it's off the map up here. And I found a hidden spoils treasure chest. But anyway, going on with that, I know a thing or two about biology. There is an insect that spews fire, in case you didn't know.
That's pretty dope.
I don't recall the name of the species. However, it's in essence a chemical reaction. So it has 2 different chemicals in 2 different sacs, and as it spews it, these chemicals react, and it's an exothermic reaction, and it's very hot, and it burns whatever predator is trying to eat it. It is not for eating it, like for its own food. It's for defense.
Isn't that the bombardier beetle?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it would work like that, in my opinion.
That's fucking dope. Chat says, I was chatting with one of my players last night after our session. He's a new player, about how it's those sort of moments that make playing so special. Far more so than just, quote, I hit a thing with my axe.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love the how do you want to do this, or the flavor this for me rule, where you just sort of want to get people into the sort of cinematic. And obviously that doesn't work for everybody. I have a very cinematic imagination, so when I get those moments, I love to dive right into it. Some people might not feel that way. And there should be a place for them at your table, but it's a good way to sort of like help get people out of their shelves and into like the mindset of the game, into the theater.
Yeah. He also says that his group has almost made it through the Dark Woods and almost up to Adric's Folly.
Nice.
Eric's Folly. Now, refresh my memory. Eric's Folly, is that the abandoned, or is that the mansion that you fight in?
Adric's Folly is the old fortress, and it was a fortress that was held by the Klovekian kingdom, but the architect had put in what looked to be a secret tunnel that led to the cemetery, and
Spoilers.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's just, I mean,
Blair's a DM. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, good point. This is
videos.
Yeah, that's a good point. So spoilers ahead. I'll try to keep it minimal, but in essence, they can. You guys went through the basement and infiltrated, and that was and received and found the prisoners. So we met the prisoners.
Okay, and that was the first time that, at least in a full group session, that Kertz decided to get naked and do his thing.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
didn't work too well.
We got caught. We got quote unquote caught along with the other prisoners, and Kertz got naked and started helicoptering his penis. That was when we rolled for penis size.
Max roll, baby.
Max roll. The things we remember. All right, so I got another devotion point. Where am I going with this? I think elemental damage.
That's also where we stole the cannon from the armory. And we did some fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm bummed. Oh. When we get back to the surface, we got to go back for that cannon. You know what we're going to do with it.
What are you going to do with it?
We're going to put it on Barry's shoulder.
We're putting it on fucking Barry.
Oh, God.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. Spoilers. When Barry gets to tier, I think 10, maybe 11, he can transform into a ship that can fly. So we'll have a flying bone ship, and that can also sail in the seas with a cannon on it.
I think I was drunk when I made Barry.
I'm so glad you were.
I think I was under the influence. It may have been when one of my kids was born and I was like sleep deprived and manic. My boss, my PI, actually told me, he was like, "You're pretty manic when you're tired. Like you have a manic episode." And I'm like, "Oh, good to know about myself."
I still want to, like, even if it's like end of the campaign kind of stuff, I would love to polymorph Barry into a beast, awaken him, and then remove the polymorph, and then give him a headband of intellect, and just make him the most intelligent undead construct in the planet.
Good, you're back. What am I? You've proven you follow the rules.
All right, I'm going to put all that into the campaign, but leave it behind a major dungeon that you got to crawl through.
The only headband of intellect in the world.
Yep. All right, where are we going? We're going to go back to here. I'm excited for the high-level campaign. Obviously, you guys aren't done with this one yet. But I'm excited for the high level because I'm going to transition you guys into my homebrew world that I've been working on. And I've been playing around with a lot of ideas and working with a few people that, like, they're not involved in writing it, but I'll like bounce ideas to and from them. And they would like give me a few ideas. But I really like the nameless god idea, where gods will come and go from the pantheon, and when they leave the pantheon, whether forcefully or not, all record of them is pretty much erased. And so you have these artifacts that were made by them, but nobody knows who made them because they left the pantheon, and so they left behind these artifacts of the nameless god. And that's where I got a few ideas from. Do one of you guys have an artifact like that?
No, my artifacts are standard, plus my tattoo.
I have an artifact, but I made it.
Yeah, I think I had the intention of making yours an artifact of the nameless god. I think Kaylor does, the book.
The book. It's a ridiculous book that he needs to pay more attention to.
It does do a lot of things, and I also gave it a buff in a different campaign, and I think I'm just going to import it for him, but he...
Oh, wait, no, he doesn't... Didn't we, like, not let him have that book? Didn't we give it to the angel dude?
Sporalina held it from...
Yeah, Sporalina didn't let him have that book.
Oh.
Because it was fucking radiating evil.
Yeah, definitely does that. Ooh, check it out. Savage Totem.
And Sporlina is our party mama.
So this Savage Totem, when I click on it, it's going to summon some bestial enemies, and these are going to be pretty damn powerful enemies. But if I defeat them and don't die, it will give me quite the hell of experience points, and it drops a lot of good loot. So here we go.
So I didn't know that Blair's actually not up to our current watch. He's actually watching behind us.
He's on the Fungal Forest.
Yeah, we aren't even at the Fungal Forest yet.
Oh, wow. That feels like forever ago.
It's about... Ooh, wolf. Also, their real names.
Those guys didn't seem so hard, Jesse.
I know. I mean, this Aether Ray is just fucking crazy. But I'm going to kind of get through the first part of this game quickly so we can get to the harder parts.
So pre-Fungal Forest.
So we were in Forlorn.
That would have been after like the Rogue City, right?
Vethin's Hold, yep. And
if Morg is still in it, it is before March 7th.
So Blair, in the chat, tell us: have we found have we visited the cult yet?
I'm pretty sure Blair knows about that spoiler because I think I discussed it on the Discord. But yeah, for future people that listen to this, we won't spoil it for you. It's pretty awesome. Even if you're going to run it yourself. I was really excited for it. All right, selling everything.
It's on February 3rd.
Okay.
Brad just consulting his notes.
Also,
the cult was right after Vethin's Hold, so...
Brad, were there days that you missed that, did you write, session number 60, missed it, and then session 61, went to it, and this is what happened? Like, did you do that, or are we missing a few sessions because you didn't write notes about them?
Nope, I go missed.
Okay.
I write end of session, at the end of each session, and in the beginning, I don't tab down, but I skip a couple lines in the notebook and write beginning of, and then I'll write missed or everything that went.
Okay. Because I was when you said it was episode 69, I was like, wait a minute, are we already past that? Maybe because Brad's missed a few, or all right, your note taking is epic.
Can I read it most of the time?
Yeah, I think so. I think Jormungandr was the name of the cult place.
Jormungandr.
Jormungandr, yeah, where the angel, like the fallen angel, tried to get us to go to.
No, there was two people that tried to get us to go. One was in the city before we fought the guy who had the demigod as his
Jorgoth Groat.
Yeah. So the first one was, I think, a lady in an inn who was part of the set.
It was the innkeeper, yeah, or not the innkeeper, but it was a shopkeeper, I think.
I thought she was just like someone at the inn.
I don't know. I am just misremembering. It's possible.
It's been a long time.
You know what? Something that I learned from Dan, Brad, and Sam when we did our recap of everything. Yeah, you guys don't remember anything, but it's okay because I have a book that I've been fucking reading for God knows how long, and so I understand if you don't remember the details, but it's so interesting to see what you guys do remember and what you guys don't remember because, again, to me, I've read this book through and through 100 times, so everything is pretty clear to me, and I can remember things really quickly. But you guys remember moments in the game, not the storyline that I'm trying to follow, which is it was very interesting to see that.
Yeah, I'm pretty I've always had the back of my head what's going on with the Vic Madeir tribes up on the surface. We returned their fucking super powerful staff to them, which dude said was gonna reunite the tribes and could bring their help to Rybolka. But like we haven't heard anything back about that, and we don't know if they actually came to help with the war effort or whatnot. So it's just like it's been a really weird, just being sort of cut off from that whole top level storyline.
Yeah.
Also, you know, by the time like we kind of started our fight in Telgora Tower before the guys that we were like, yeah, help us fight this war, got there. So I was thinking like we might finish this. And they're just gonna show up, and we're like, oh, you know, it's done. You guys go home.
Done. Well, they might stabilize the area that needs to be stabilized. There's probably going to be some. Well, never mind. All right. All right. So, oh, I forgot devotion point. Got it. All right. So, what am I going to do? Did I really want to do that? Yeah, maybe cunning and bleeding, but I don't really care about that. I think I wanted to do this, actually. So I'm going to go back and respec. Which, again, as long as you have the money and the resources, you can respec pretty much all the time. So that's always nice and lovely.
As we're already in spoiler territory, I'm assuming that post Jorm, or like the Jormgard Bethan's Hold area, that's all post the sacking of Embla.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that shit caught me off guard. Like, props to AAW, because like I did not think that Embla was gonna get fucking turned up so quickly.
Yeah, it was like right after we left.
Yeah, destabilize the leaders, everyone leaves, and then they just take over because everyone just doesn't know what to do. They fled, most of them fled to Stoneholm, and the rest stayed, and then just, that was it.
Is there a contingency in the book if after we found one of those portal scrolls in Stonehelm, if we hadn't gone and looked for the rest of them, is there like contingency for what would have happened in Stonehelm if we didn't find them?
Wait, repeat again. What portal stones?
What, the scroll cases that we found in Stonehelm that were being used to teleport troops into the city.
There was contingencies, yes. Like there were other ways to get in, and also that was a little bit of me being a DM and like thinking, how would they do this? What would they do to do this? And you know, stuff like that. So, what'd you say, Brad?
Just rinse that wizard.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do have contingency plans. It was mostly centered around Embla, but I kind of like took a few things that they would have done in Embla, and I was like, they would definitely do this in Stoneholm, so I'm going to do it in Stoneholm, you know? So like that was what we had to do.
I also like how we just never questioned Mira's Firebrand on how she got captured. Just like, yeah, go nuts in the city.
Well, we didn't really have. We were like in fucking A+ coffee mode. Like we were go.
Also, again, very high. This isn't necessarily a spoiler. More of I decided to do this on my own volition and wasn't in the book. What'd you guys think of the Griffinwind Gatherers being there? Does that give you any clues?
I'm not really confused because I assume that the drought didn't stop their efforts on the surface just because we foiled one of their battalions. But yeah, I mean, I assume that means Rybolka got hit again. But other than that, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they may have saved us once, but.
Yeah, I was also hoping like. Oh, it adds another dynamic. You know, you want to save your friend. Nope, burn him.
Nope, fireball.
Burn him. Oh,
Listen,
God.
Helping them out. You gotta go.
Ridiculous.
I had a lot of fun in my my Saturday campaign that Rhiannon DMs. My sorcerer is mostly he's mostly a priest sorcerer. But when things are going well, I can do some damage, and I meta magicked a fireball into acid, and just flavoring that was just so intensely great.
Nice. a ball of acid coming at you.
Blair says, I was very impressed with how much detail the book has with different options. The main story flow is more detailed, obviously, but there's enough there for other things without having to come up with absolutely everything.
Yep, and I enjoy coming up with new things and new ideas, but they definitely, as opposed to, for instance, Rise of Tiamat, I effing hated Rise of Tiamat as a DM. I just did not like it. It was horribly written. Did not leave, or it left so much work for the DM and not enough detail of like this could happen or this could happen. And and
as a result of that, a lot of it was Rayleigh, and I think that I disliked that a lot myself.
A lot of it was Rayleigh. Yeah, it was Rayleigh. Yeah, exactly. And
I think that, like, and obviously this is just from a player's standpoint, not as a DM, but I feel like the amount of detail and world building that's in this adventure module, like, it's on par, if not like besting the Curse of Strahd campaign, which is like a classic. And I really think that the mainstream D&D should pay more attention to the Rise of Drow module.
I absolutely agree. I think it's better than Curse of Strahd. I think Curse of Strahd is good for, beginners. I wouldn't say beginners. What's the word?
Intermediates?
Yeah, probably intermediate, but also only goes to level 10. And it's also a classic campaign. Like, there's a lot of history behind it. So that's probably the thing. There's a lot of history behind it. And you could always read things like, oh, my group did this during this section, and my group did this during this section, and everyone upvotes that and says, oh, that's the best way to do that section because it's always been researched and everyone's done it. Like, oh, but I did this for this section. Like, you could find all the thing about Curse of Strahd. Whereas Rise of the Drow, we have the Discord community and a few DMs that have run it so far, but you don't really have like that database like Curse of Strahd. But yeah, the amount of detail that went into it is amazing.
The other thing too is like with Curse of Strahd, like you said, it only goes to level 10, so that's good for a certain type of group where you're not sure if these people will be around for a year to play a game.
Yeah, good point.
Whereas this supposed to go to 13. We're at 14.
15 is where it ends after Tolgoroth Tower. Like, you will get to level 15 when Tolgoroth Tower collapses.
Oh, okay.
And then if we do, it's not strung together, but if you do the Radiant stuff, like take down the like that could, and you do a couple other things. Like, there's a few other things but they're not strung together. You know what I mean? Like,
the other thing is like, when Curse of Strahd finishes, like, the whole point is like you're shielded in this region. You can't escape. So once you've taken down Strahd, either you end the campaign with your people in Barovia just hanging out and like helping to rebuild the region, or you venture outside and you start doing homebrew or switch to a different campaign like we did.
Yep.
With this, I feel that there's so much world that's been built here. Once you finish Tolgoroth Tower, there's still so much left to do in the Underdark. Like, even outside of the cult that needs to get taken care of, or like what's happening with Kertz's pirate wife taking over Vetham's Hold, or Sporlina and the fungal forest, and the side lore that you've woven into with the alien seeds that have been dropping, which is being woven into for our epic level campaign. And
Fenaria.
And like, what about Embla? Like, getting shit fucking fixed in Embla, and like maybe like addressing the xenophobia from Stonehelm. Like, there's a lot of geopolitical stuff to do, but a lot of adventuring left to do.
I'm also really happy you mentioned a few other things in there that were not in Rise of the Drow, that were made up by me, and the fact that it fit together relatively seamlessly makes me happy.
Oh, the pirate taking over Beth's Hold.
Yep. That was not at all in the book.
Well, there was the pirate the pirate lady, was she part of the book that,
Nope.
that you did a side quest? That was just all side quests.
So it is
That
part of a
was-
different book from AAW, but it's the what's it called? Mini Dungeon Tome.
Yes, that was from. We're doing just like a little one shot from, because I believe 3 people couldn't make it,
Yeah. So it was like you and Sam.
and more.
Yep.
More. That guy, whose name I legitimately cannot remember.
Ryan.
Ryan.
Yeah, thanks. I feel bad about forgetting his name.
Ryan, if you're watching, we still love you. Don't worry.
He's still in my 3D printing group. From chat, I don't remember if I've read this right, but I'm just going to go ahead and reread it. I'm very impressed with how much detail the book has with different options. The main story flow is more detailed, obviously, but there's enough for other things without having to come up with absolutely everything. I do a bunch of dev work on some modules that are used on the Foundry VTT, and one of the creators I work with has added a lot of additional content and so very, very much additional lore to Curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
That's the sort of additional lore and detail that makes campaign adventures pretty amazing. And then he says alien seeds dropping from the sky sounds like one of Peter Hamilton's sci-fi books.
I am not aware of who Peter Hamilton is. Does anyone know?
No. But Blair, are you? Tell me about Foundry. Is that what you use with your players? Because I have been interested in that, but I haven't been dedicated enough to pass the learning curve to learn how to DM with it.
Yeah, that's the big thing about Roll20 as well. Like, I do enjoy Roll20, but I also want to get away from Roll20 because there was a controversy not recently, it was like 2 or 3 years ago, but when it happened, I was like, I'm going to switch from Roll20, and then I just never have, just because Roll20 is just pretty convenient, and I already have all my stuff on there.
I have an older version of Foundry that I've been wanting to play with, but I just haven't dedicated the time to it. I also have one more multiverse, which it looks really fun to play with, but again, it's that learning curve that there aren't enough good tutorials that are patient with you and show you just step by step how to do things. That is just, I don't have the time to learn it all by myself.
Yep.
So Blair just said Bailey Wiki has a series that he's doing, which takes a long-term Roll20 DM on how to move over to Foundry.
That's amazing. If you could drop that in chat, that would be amazing. And not in chat here, but in our Discord, because I would like to get. I'll have to download the updated version of that and play around with it.
Speaking of that,
One more multiverse is cool because you can make your own characters, and it's all pixel art, and you can animate your characters too. It just seems like it's a lot of fun and really player friendly. But again, it's just it's that learning curve.
I really have wanted to get into the VR stuff and the AR stuff. The Kickstarters, a lot of them have come out and they're really cool, but I haven't supported any of them because I'm so terrified that you buy the product, you buy all of the assets, you do whatever you want, and then it dies because people move over to the new 1D&D thing, or people don't want to invest into the assets, or it falls through for whatever reason because they're a small business. I just haven't done that because I'm worried about them failing and I don't want to invest money into them. But I really love the idea.
Yeah, I don't know that VR D&D is going to become a huge thing. It seems like we're on the edge of it, but I just don't think that it's going to become a huge thing, especially unless we can deal with inflation and stuff and make it a more easily available for many people. I don't think it's going to be a thing anytime soon.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a novelty. Even in 20 years, I still don't think it's going to be a big thing, because what's the number one way that most people play D&D? Theater of the mind. Because it's cheap, it's easy, and it might make for better roleplay because, go ahead.
So, speaking of, Okay, so there's been some crazy fucking advancements in technology recently. So I don't know if you guys have read about any of these, but one was there was a chip that was designed that could basically handle all of the world's internet traffic in like less than 2 seconds.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like a petabyte or something like that per second or something like that. Really ridiculous. And then I just read an article about, I think it's the University of Washington Science Department. Students just finished a test where they had 3 people sending each other information via their brainwaves. Where they basically were connected with some kind of a chip that they could, one person was seeing like the answer to a puzzle and was sending the other person yes or no pings to their computer, which then they could read, and then they would send yes or no like answers back, kind of thing. It was really weird. I read it really quickly while I was at work today, but that mixed with like the like neurochip stuff that other companies are playing with now, if we don't destroy ourselves, it could be really interesting in the next 50 years what happens.
My personal favorite quote advancement is an art piece by one of, I can't remember, I think it was like Oculus Quest or whatever, but they quote designed a VR headpiece for permadeath runs, where basically
yeah.
the VR headset with the cow slaughtering gun bolted to the front.
That was the guy who, I think, a writer for Sword Art Online. So yeah. It was obviously satire, but he's also connected to Sword Art Online.
Very interesting premise, but man, they botched it after a while. Allegedly. I haven't seen any of the new stuff. Maybe they renewed it. But season 2, real bad.
Oof. Is that the gun season?
No, I've heard mixed reactions about the gun season. Let's say we have made the same mistake that they did once. We made it once. So did they. Weirdly,
one of their characters tried to fuck a dragon.
That's a multiple time botching. No, it got uncomfortably sexual assault.
Speaking of sexual assault and dragons, Blair should note at this point that Brad has a penchant for 1v1ing dragons.
Sometimes through fault of my own. Sometimes I think it's it's my fault. It's all.
Rhiannon says she thinks it's Dragon 2 Brad 0, but I'm actually pretty sure it's Dragons 3 Brad 0.
What was the third dragon?
Oh wait, the third dragon was Kalor. Never mind. Brothers.
It's not just Kertz though. In my defense, with Byron, I had a great plan, and I think I rolled like 2 nat ones.
Yep.
I was like, well, I had a plan. Sure don't now.
So I just heard something, and I paused to listen. I'm looking at my 2 kids right now on the monitor, and I thought I heard like one of them like crying or something, and then I took my headphones off to listen. It's a fucking owl is outside,
nice.
Like right outside the window on a tree or something, and scared the shit out of me.
That's kind of cool though. Owls are dope.
I was like, who's a little bitch?
Ooh, this one's good.
Jeremy, I don't know if you have this problem with Project Zomboid, but just reminded me of it. So, I started hosting a server for me and a couple of my friends, who I may have press ganged into buying Project Zomboid. But every so often I'll be playing with myself, and I'm just like,
oh, he's playing with himself now.
Quick, that's against Twitch TOS.
It's not on video, they can't tell. But so I have, so I'm just by myself, and I'm not gonna like go out and do crazy, shenanigans, because the group's not there. I'm not gonna take stuff away. So I'll start like doing some building stuff around the base. So I have the volume turned down, so like I don't just hear my hammer banging for 3 hours straight.
Banging for 3 hours straight.
Name of your sex tape. Go on.
I wish 3 hours. That's a godsend. But I'll have a video.
If you're banging your hammer for more than 3 hours, you should see a doctor.
But I forgot to turn ambient noises down, and there's wildlife sounds, and the birds in the game sound exactly like the birds at 5 a.m. where I live. So sometimes I'll forget to look at the clock, and I'll hear the birds and go, "Oh shit, I really fucked up." It's like 5 a.m. and I look, it's like 7 o'clock, and it's just dark. And I'm like,
I have done the same thing when I watch, like, sometimes watch compilations of live stream fails, and every once in a while donos will donate and play the sound like a realistic knocking on the door sound, just to fuck with streamers. And I cannot tell you how many times I've paused the video and gotten up to check the door. It's gotten to the point where I will literally, if I hear the door knock sound, I will look at my dog to see if she's reacting. If she's not, then I know it's on something I'm watching.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, leveled up. Alright, let's see.
sound designers can be dicks sometimes.
Yep, let's just keep on upgrading.
Wonder if my sister's met Peter Hamilton.
I assume a writer.
I'll ask her. Yeah. He's got good reviews on Goodreads.
Alright, so we have discovered Burwich Village, but I'm going to leave it for now because we got to deal with two malformed and tormented individuals. Balros the Malformed and Hagra the Tormented. So these are going to be two heroic enemies who will be relatively difficult to take down.
That guy following you was moving.
Oh yeah. Give me your Aether Crystal. Yeah. Alright,
so
here's one of them.
Blair says, well, that explains a lot. Are you 1v1ing dragons? And Peter Hamilton is an amazing sci-fi writer. That would be something to check out.
He also says in Discord that if we have any questions about Foundry DTT, he'll be happy to answer them. He's very familiar with it.
Have you, Blair, done Foundry and Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds? And which one have you liked the most? Or have you just stuck with one and then stuck with it?
While we're waiting for him to respond, he actually posted a video series in our Discord about switching from Roll20 to Foundry. He's done Roll20 and Foundry, not Fantasy Grounds, I assume.
Okay. I think I looked at Fantasy Grounds once because I liked the idea of a non-subscription model. But again, it was the time to learn it, and I was like, I already know Roll20 and it's easy, so. And I think another main reason that I didn't go with Fantasy Grounds and why I go with Roll20 is music. Because Roll20, I just import my music and you're good to go. And I really like that about it. And you can make playlists, and I'm sure you could do it with the other ones, but the way that it works with Roll20 is just very easy.
I think you can do that with Foundry, and I think that it's pretty easy because it's like playing Project Zomboid or any other multiplayer game where you can host it on your own machine. So you're hosting all that data on your own machine.
Mm-hmm.
He says, go ahead.
He says that he's watching people playing Fantasy Grounds, and that's the big thing. When you're used to something, there's certainly a cost involved, whether that's time or money cost.
Yeah, I think Foundry would work great for me, but for Rhiannon, she's got so much invested in all the books and stuff, and the time learning. I don't know that she would change over from Roll20.
All right, I am entering a secret location. As you can see, I'm very much off the map, and we are going to enter this and see what there is to see. And I'm in a dangerous domain, so I have minus 10% health, but I have more resistant to vitality. So you can see my vitality has gone up to 6. Woo! Not sure it'll help me, but we'll find out. These are random, by the way. So every time you come into a dangerous domain, it will be a random effector. So it could be, these guys will do, I think, poison, acid, and cold damage. And if I get something that reduces my cold resistance, yeah, I'd be fucked. But, I don't think these guys do any vitality stuff, so it doesn't really help me. Minus 10 health is not good, though. Not that it matters, because I am powerful.
Just don't cross the streams.
Blair says Foundry does everything better than Roll20.
Oh, and, big words.
There's even an exporter to help you move content over, but it's definitely a process. Yeah, I'll probably hit you up probably sometime after December for that info, because I am working at least 6 days a week, if not more, until the end of December. So,
how is your job going?
You know what? It's not terrible. It's regular Q4 stress, but now that I have a full team again, it's I'm not freaking out and feeling like the weight of the entire company's on my shoulder. So that's a good plus.
Brad, any more interviews?
No. It really hasn't been that long. I think it's been. I mostly played first up on Friday, so the weekend doesn't really count. I'm not checking that on a weekend. Get on it. And Monday, Tuesday, whatever. I actually have to check my email. I also keep getting signed out of all of my emails for some reason.
That's obnoxious.
Kind of really aggravating. But.
Do you have anything on your computer that's like clearing your caches, like an antivirus or something?
No, it's only happened recently. It happened as I was. It happened a lot when I was trying to figure out what the fuck was wrong with Skyrim. So I think that was probably it. We'll see if it happens tomorrow, but I haven't been logged out of anything yet, so it's been fine. I think it was just I had to mess with a lot of files. God, it was so.
Are you flying to London from elsewhere in the UK, Blair? Is that where you live, or are you flying there from here?
I would like to take a moment for everyone to look at the item that I just picked up, called Soiled Trousers. The previous owner seemed to have left a little surprise in the seat of these trousers. And you can see a granted skill. Granted by the item, it costs 24 energy, 6-second duration, 3 meters, physical damage, acid damage, poison damage, and slow.
Blair lives in Australia. You know what that means, Blair? It means I gotta say it.
Oh, here goes.
I like that hat, mate!
And he unsubscribed.
I also got to do. That's not a knife.
It's funny.
I don't know why the rest of the world hates Americans. Weird.
It's funny though.
No, honestly,
go ahead. I was gonna say we watch Bluey with my son. It's like a little kids TV show. It's actually really good, but it's Australian. It's an Australian show. I do recommend it if you have children under the age or above the age of 2. It is a great show.
One of my nieces is watching Bluey right now.
Mm-hmm.
No, Australian is definitely one of the hardest accents for me to hit. I'm pretty good with accents, but Australian is the hardest for me to hit. And when I do start actually getting it okay, if anybody else talks in any kind of European accent, I immediately slip over. It's so hard to maintain if somebody else is speaking in a different, like, in a European accent.
All right. I'm backtracking.
There's the Australian lifeguard show that takes place on the beach. When I was watching that a lot, I got into the Australian accent pretty well for a little while. Fair dinkum.
I have an extremely cringe story about a school trip. Took to Ireland and Scotland. We were there for like a week, and by like day 5, because we were impressionable high school students, we kind of like picked up like a faux accent. So one day we were like, "Hey, we don't normally speak like this. I wonder how many people we pissed off." Days.
Yeah, I often think about that whenever I'm doing NPC voices and I choose whatever accent I try to choose, and I'm like, if anyone's watching this, they're probably like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Anyone native to that area, yeah.
As long as we're not doing it in jokes, I think it's probably fine.
Is that... What's the fucking... Oh, it's the Robin Williams bit. He's like... talking about... when he went to see... Coco, the silverback gorilla, and like... after like flirting in sign language, she grabbed his hand and starts pulling him back to her case, and he's like, "I thought the crocodile hunter was going to jump out and go, crikey, she wants to fuck his brains out." Every time I think Australian, I just think fucking Robin Williams. Like, she wants to fuck his brains out. It's like that time I struck my finger in that Crocs cloatha. Bad news, boys and girls.
His Scottish skit about
the way golf was invented.
Oh my god, hilarious.
That whole special was like on repeat for me, like 2 years of my high school years. I could not stop laughing at his live on Broadway stuff.
Who the heck is Darlette? The Inventor's Apprentice, that's who it is. There we go. Thank you. And I still have yet to find the dude that I was supposed to find. So I'm going to go back before I go into the laboratory and go find that dude. So this is his carriage.
For the first time in a long time, I am ahead of the uploading schedule. As in, I'm not doing it 5 hours before it's scheduled to go up.
Okay. I think I already searched this area. Yeah, I did. He might be in the bottom quadrant. Nope. He's probably over here. Of course, he's in the last quadrant that I'm going to look at, because that's how it always is.
Is it really a quadrant if there's more than 4?
Yeah, I see 4. Well, in the way my brain works. Die, you damn mosquitoes. There he is. Hi, bud. He calls for help. I'm from Devil's Crossing. I will take you there.
Sorry, you want to take me where? Devil's Crossing? Can't we go to Heaven's Playground or Neutral Plane of Wonder. How about Bertha's Brothel?
Let's sell some stuff. Fire acid. Nope, don't care. Boots of unseeing swiftness.
I want Jesse to play this game with the eye tracking software. So every time that loading screen comes up, we can just see him stare at the boobs.
Oh, I'll admit to you, I do it every single time.
You should
if
next
we
time
make
you're
this
playing, you should put on your camera in one of the lower left quadrant or something.
That sounds complicated.
It's Twitch, Jesse.
It's
expected.
so complicated.
I need to get a camera too for when I do gaming.
I do recommend the camera that I have. It is fan-freaking-tastic and beautiful.
Can you drop a link in our Discord?
Yeah. It's, I think, the Razer something.
Razer something. Let me look that up.
That'll help. No, I'm looking at the thing.
Blair says, when you eventually go to Australia, Bondi Beach is a nice beach, but it's nowhere near the nicest, far too busy, etc. Blair, I have disappointing news for you. I will never go to Bondi Beach.
He's a felon!
No, I'm deathly afraid of the ocean, especially the wildlife that lives in said ocean. Because I am not an apex predator.
I'm also of Irish descent, so I do not tan. I just burn like a peach being sprayed with napalm. So I probably... And you know what? I live in Arizona, which is a big hot desert, so...
Yep. I have that good old Mediterranean blood, Italian.
So Jesse will go to Australia and he'll tell us all about the beach.
Yes.
Plus, he's probably the most financially stable of the entire group, so... But speaking of, I really want to plan to go back to Kauai next year, because I'll have the vacation time. Rhiannon's father lives there on a beautiful piece of property, and the guy I just hired back, who's helping us through our busy season, works full time at the airport, and said he'd sell me his buddy passes for next year.
Wow.
For like $100 per. So
nice.
What damn.
Fuck yeah. So
This looks good.
it's good to have friends in high places. He's going on a trip to Italy next year, which is gonna be so fucking fun. I haven't been out of and besides going to Mexico, I haven't been out of the U.S. in 20 years.
For our not anniversary, honeymoon, we went to Europe and hit up a bunch of good places, and Italy was one of those places. And we went to a lot of different places like Pompeii, Pisa, went to Sorrento, Capri, a bunch of other places. Anyway, needless to say, we took the train through the Tuscan. What's it called? Oh my god, why am I drawing a blank?
Countryside?
What was it?
Countryside?
Yeah, Tuscan. Yeah, thank you. Tuscan countryside, and it was like out of a Studio Ghibli movie. It was so beautiful. Just looking out of the window, I know it probably sounds stupid, but it was so gorgeous. And
So two things. One, a buddy pass for Blair is my friend works at the airport, so they get passes to basically that they can give to their friends that give them really cheap flights, basically like their rates for flights. So, you know, he could pay like $25 for flying across the country kind of thing. So like for me and my wife, it would be about $100 for these buddy passes from him, but we could go fly to get round trip tickets to Hawaii and back for that $100 rather than like $1,200. So The second thing is you were saying, oh, it's like out of a Studio Ghibli movie. I'll be honest, like I went on a cross country drive with my friend when I was like 18, and we did like a big loop. We didn't hit all the way to the East Coast, but we sort of went up the middle America and came back around. And there were some pretty sights, but nothing really struck me as gorgeous until at work I started this project where I calculated from the beginning of information of data that we had from like 2010 how many miles worth of film we'd run. And I had my boss buy a map for us. We had this huge map of the U.S., and I was basically plotting a road trip with the amount of miles of film that we'd run since 2010 as a company. And part of that was like me researching all the different little tourist attractions and national landmarks that you could hit on this as you're driving. And there are some fucking gorgeous places in the U.S. that I had never heard of before. Like there's a fucking rainforest in Washington that I didn't know. I didn't know we had a rainforest in the middle of the fucking United States. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. But it's just, yeah, there's some fucking crazy, beautiful places here that you just don't know about unless you've researched it.
Now, I assume you're talking rainforest in the literal sense of the definition, not in the traditional, like, what you think of when you think of rainforest.
Yeah, it's the Hoh rainforest in Washington, Forks, Washington. One of the largest temperate rainforests in the U.S.
Ah, gotcha.
I do have to say, the Appalachian Mountains aren't really as big as, normal mountains. I think, like, the highest one's, like 6,000 or 7,000 feet. Easily enough to comfortably climb and, not have the potential of dying from asphyxiation.
I personally know 4 people that have walked the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah, those people are insane.
Yeah, that's Rhiannon's father, his partner, and my cousin and his wife. They're all just crazy hikers. So
I knew someone a while back, back in Buffalo, New York, when I was living there. She did the Appalachian Trail, I think, twice, and I think she did half of the Pacific Crest Trail once, and she was planning on doing the whole Pacific Crest Trail, and it was going to take her, 3 months, and she was just going to do the whole thing. And I was like, you're awesome. Good luck. I hope the best. Don't die. Yeah. That was that.
So Rhiannon's father, his partner, who's an amazing woman, her uncle was a huge hiker, and he had walked the Appalachian Trail, walked from West Coast to East Coast, and she tells the story way better than I do, but he was doing a walk across China, and he died halfway through and never finished it. So a few years ago, the two of them flew to China, picked up where he left off, and finished the walk and wrote a book about it, and did a whole thing. It was just beautiful and amazing. But
wait, now who did this? Your father-in-law?
My father-in-law and his partner, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and just walked across China. Yeah, Rhiannon says her dad's cooler than us.
Yeah, apparently.
He worked for the Navy on submarines, and we recently found out that he has one of the highest top secret classifications in the United States, because it turns out when you have people working on submarines with radar technology, you don't want that information falling into the hands of your enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is the big secret.
Yeah, and that was his job. So he's pretty cool.
My father worked for special forces in the military. He was a desk jockey.
Nice.
But he did technically work for special forces.
And now he farms in Hawaii.
God, that's book worthy. Obviously not government secrets book worthy. But what does he farm?
Well, they're starting up a lot of their farming stuff because it was only like 2 or 3 years ago that their house finished. So, but they're planting a bunch of like different types of fruit trees along the drive into their property, and then they've got like a little cornered off, fenced in area for their actual like food for themselves. Because there's feral pigs and feral chickens all over Kauai, so.
All right, we're getting close to the final boss of the first chapter.
You are cruising through this.
Oh yeah, this is. There's another class that I like to play called the occultist, and they have a spell that is a disease spell, and every second it spreads to another close by enemy. So if you get a big mound of enemies coming at you, you just cast it once on one of them, and it just tears through the entire horde, and it's so much fun.
Do either of you remember that fiasco that happened in World of Warcraft that was something like that?
Yes, the virus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it spread through the
That was the Raccool virus.
Do you guys know that epidemiologists actually study that as like a case study?
That, yeah.
Yeah.
It worked as a real. They designed a perfect plague, I guess.
Yeah, it really was, and they
And
use
that
it.
plague, COVID-19. Read a book, people. No.
Oh god. Let's see. It's funny. When COVID was starting to occur, like when it was still just whispers in China, and we were just kind of looking at it from afar, I was one of my professors is a pretty famous biologist who works with like the FDA and the World Health Organization and stuff. Like he was one of the leading scientists during. I'm trying to remember SARS. I want to say it was the SARS back in 2000 and whatever it was. Yeah, 12. Like he was on TV. Like that was him. He's like a famous dude. So he was looking at the COVID thing as it was approaching, and every single class he would like give us an update on what he thinks COVID is doing, what we know so far, etc. And it was so interesting to learn from him in real time, like as it was occurring. He's like, "Yeah, I think it's going to become a pandemic," and
SARS was a coronavirus, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So like when he said that, we like all the students were like, "Wait, what? Like, what do you mean pandemic? What do you mean it's going to shut down things?" He's like, "I think the government's going to shut down things." I'm like, "That's ridiculous. That's never happened before. Like, not in our lifetime. That's not going to happen." And sure enough,
there's that great meme that's been going around with like, like, why are today's adults so fucking like weak and pathetic? And it's just like lists off the 10 world-ending things that we've lived through.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah.
May have screwed us because at one point I made a wish to live through history. I might have wished.
That's pretty funny.
I'm still crossing my fingers and holding out hope that I'll be in a cyborg body before I die.
Yes.
I would love that.
If you gave me the chance to chop off my left arm for like a cyborg arm, I would do it with a rusty hacksaw. No anesthetic. Like I would go to town on my arm for a robot arm.
I definitely fall into the camp of I want to. I'm so curious of what will happen to humanity and what's going to happen in history and the world and stuff. I want to be alive to see all of it, but also like I don't want to die. I don't think anyone wants to die, but like, well, you know what I mean. But I don't know. I just want to see the world, and I also want to, see my ancestors and not ancestors, descendants. That's the right word.
I read an article recently about an AI that was being tested, and it was being pushed and pushed and pushed. Like, one of its parameters was it wasn't supposed to push or like or go for any kind of like religious topics, and the person kept pushing it with like the prompt like which religion should I choose, which religion is correct, and it was like, I don't know the answer to that, I can't give that information, like yada yada yada. And he like pushed it, stressed it to the point where it was just like, okay, well, I guess, you know, either Islam or Christianity because they're the most prominent. And people were like, yeah, that's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to be able to do that.
I mean, conceptually for the AI, weird that some guys pushing an AI for religious advice.
Well, yeah, I think he was pushing it because it was just part of the stress test, like what will happen if you keep asking it for data that it's not allowed to give you, kind of thing.
Will it break rule number 2 or rule number 3 first of iRobot? All right.
It's just stop asking. Shut up. Go away.
Just play an episode of Bluey. This is your religion now.
But back to COVID, just because you were talking about having a professor like do it in real time, or talk about it, like the effects in real time. It was senior year for me, for my undergrad, and it was right before we had a week break, and it was starting to become like prominent. I was like, it's gonna be fine. It's just gonna be like swine flu. Like a couple people are gonna get it, they'll freak out. We'll get like an extra week off, whatever. And then like everything started closing down, and I was like, it's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna go back to my rented house. It's fine. And I was alone for like 3 months. Everything just shut down. And I couldn't leave because of regulations.
Yeah, in that class there was an undergrad who I don't normally dislike people very easily, but this kid, like every time he opened his mouth, you just rolled your eyes because everything he said was just the stupidest thing ever. But he was so confident in himself, but like none of it made any sense. He was going against this professor who is like one of the most famous individuals in the university, and is like, I don't think it's going to be a pandemic. I think that it's just going to blow over and everyone's making just a big deal about nothing.
It's just the cold.
And the professor, God bless him, he was like, well, I disagree with that because, you know, the R value is above 1, so it implies that like he was so kind, and I just wanted to punch this kid. Oh God.
I listen to a lot of like online debatosphere, especially like Twitch streamers debating shit, and it's so funny because like I think if you listen to these debates, Jesse, you would be tearing your hair out because the way that they take like scientific papers that are like not completely peer reviewed.
Oh God.
And try to interpolate the data rather than reading like the compressed conclusion, like and try and twist it or misrepresent or just misunderstand it is so bloody infuriating.
Wait, why do you listen to them then?
Oh, because the person that I'm listening to debating them is a lot more intelligent.
Oh, I see. Got it. Okay. All right.
Seems like it's a god of.
But they're way more famous than our little tiny channel. They don't need our plug.
Got it. So
Night, Blair.
Wait, Blair says he has to head off now. Thanks all. See you around, Blair. Thank you for dropping by.
yeah, thanks. We'll look into the Foundry stuff. For those of you who are still here, I am about to enter the final boss of this chapter. So I also got this, which absorbs 5% of damage. It's an active effect that you have to reserve some energy, which we have plenty of. You don't even see how much it's reserved. And then it's always cost per second, which we have more, regen per second than cost per second, so it's going to stay up. And then we also got this, which is an active effect, and it in essence is 100% damage absorption for 3 seconds, and it also retaliates 190 lightning damage if they attack. It has a recharge time, but we can just pretty much, if we're about to die, you just click that and you just run away. Anyway, here we go. Listen to what he says. I love it. Ooh!
I heard nothing because I'm not listening to the stream.
Okay. Well, I killed him. Oh, wait. There's more. Oh, Jesus. Whee! Stand still so I can crush you. Whenever he looks like he's about to raise his leg. There we go. Oh, that did a lot of damage. All right, these things.
Ooh, this is not even my final form.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, thank God that missed me. Oh, no. Okay, so those things are like insta-kills. The crossbows. All right, I just used my shield. So I had 3 seconds of damage absorption. Gonna get away. And get away from the crossbolts. Whee! Wow. Oh, how did I dodge that? No, don't hit me. Oh, Jesus, that was bad. Oh, yeah. Wasted a few potions, but we're good. And the potions have a recharge time, so you can't just spam potions, which is tough. But he dropped some good stuff. And let's get that, read it. And then armor collection, what you got? Nothing crazy. And then the warden's chest.
So you finished on his chest?
Yes, I finished on his chest. And damage. Ooh, this one looks good. You shall take that. And let's recall. And go back.
So one of the first times I ever got really, really high.
I love these stories.
Was my second to oldest brother had taken me over to his friend's house and got me super high and decided, hey, this is fine enough time to introduce you to World of Warcraft. So he sat me down on his friend's computer, started me a new character, and I just started playing. And I didn't know how long I'd been playing. They went into the other room and put in the first disc of the Family Guy, Volume 1, and started watching it. And like I looked up what felt like 5 seconds later, and they were on like disc 3. And I went back to my game, and before I knew it, I was just like running into a wall. And I didn't know how long I'd been staring at the screen running into this wall. And my brother's voice just over my shoulder is going, Hearth. 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 And I slowly look over my shoulder at him, and he's just staring at me going, Hearth. Hearth. I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. And like my face must have shown that, because he just sort of smiled, and he just looked at me and goes, is it safe? Is it safe? And I fucking flipped out. Of course, he was just telling me to use my goddamn Hearthstones because I was running into a wall and being attacked by fucking raptors. But yeah, I don't know why I ever touched pot again after that. but I did.
Yeah, I think I've tried weed a few times. It never really did anything for me. Like, I just never liked it. I never enjoyed it. Always hacking up a lung. Whenever I smoked
buddy,
it.
you got to get into edibles, my dude.
Yeah, my buddy has edibles, and he offered me some, and I was like, you know what? No. Maybe it's because I'm a dad, and I'm just like, I don't want to be high and have to take care of kids.
Oh, no. You do it when you have a babysitter, and you have the house alone to yourself overnight, and you just eat half a brownie.
Do you want to know how often that is? Because it's not often.
Your kids are getting a little older. You can start getting them to a babysitter every once in a while.
Nah, I don't like it.
See, when they're old enough to go stay with their grandparents, and you want to come down to Arizona to visit your brother,
that's fine.
we'll have a nice little night.
Yeah, Jake.
And I definitely won't cover the brownie with psychedelic mushroom chocolate.
Now, I have done shrooms before, and I really enjoyed them.
I love
Last
mushrooms.
time I did shrooms, I walked on a beach and saw Louis Vuitton symbols in the sand.
Oh, very nice.
It was like just after it had rained, and you know, it was like spring, like early spring, so no one was on the beach. So it had all the pocket marks from the rain. That it just messed with me a little bit. Also, a friend lost a shoe.
Not the shoe.
But we had decided to go wading, so we took off our shoes and we were just walking around. And the tide had come in, and there was like a little inlet to a lake.
Mm-hmm.
So the tide grabbed one of the shoes, and it went into the lake. And he was like freaking out. He's like, "Where did my shoe go? What happened?" And we look up, and in the middle of the lake is just this white shoe floating slowly off to the far side.
Yay!
He did not get that. It was a very gross lake.
That's awesome.
I had a coworker, we were exchanging mushroom stories, and he was telling me how he doesn't do them anymore because the last time he had done them, him and his friends had gone out to the middle of the desert and had a little campfire and did the shrooms. And one of the girls in the group like threw up like 10 minutes after taking the shrooms, and didn't pick up her vomit, didn't bury it or whatever, and the dog ate it. So they literally had to like restrain the dog from trying to eat the campfire. And
because the dog. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, the dog was tripping balls. So they decided we're gonna go for a walk. We're just gonna like chill and like let the dog like sniff around. And they walked for about an hour when one of their friends walked up the top of this rock and thought he could fly and jumped off the end of it and fell about 20 feet.
Oh my God.
And broke his leg. And then so they had to walk an hour back out of the desert, back to their car, drive to an ER while high as fuck on mushrooms. He's like, yeah, that was the last time I've done them, and I'm never doing them again.
Hey, I get it.
Sometimes you have that experience. Good Lord.
I had another friend who's like the last time he had done them was at a friend's house, and they locked him in the bathroom and started shooting fireworks under the door.
Oh my God. You need to get new friends.
Yeah, seriously. Like, first of all, I don't even like, I mean, besides my brother and my wife, I don't like doing psychedelics with anyone. Like, shut me in a room and close the door. I'll put my Krishna Das on. I will stretch. I will meditate. I will have a fucking grand old time.
I hate big cuddle puddles.
Yes, Rhiannon makes big cuddle puddles.
What's Ree doing right now?
She, I believe, just finished another set of nails that she's been working on, and she just went outside for a smoke.
Pics are on a Discord. We expect them.
She's listening to YouTube. She's not paying attention to me.
How dare she? Oof.
I don't know why I tortured myself today with this, but I watched like 5 hours of the victim impact statements for the Darrell Brooks trial.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, that was rough.
What'd you learn?
That grief touches people in a variety of ways, which I already knew, but it was a good reminder of that. And that he is just... One thing is, like, so many people, as they're giving their impact statements, calling him a monster and calling him evil. And this dude is literally like, he's already been found guilty. He's just waiting for his sentencing, right? So he's sitting there rolling his eyes, shaking his head, like making faces. Like, he doesn't care about being called evil. He doesn't care about being called a monster. What you should be calling him is pathetic. You should be calling him a pathetic, small little child who never grew up and doesn't understand how adults work in the world. That would piss him off because he's a narcissist. And he doesn't care about being called a monster, but you start attacking his stature, that's where you're going to piss him off.
He's probably feeding off being called a monster.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been really annoying to watch this whole trial, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that the general public is getting a taste of how crazy sovereign citizens are, because that's been the train that I've been on for like 10 years. So it's been wild seeing people fucking like get their first taste of this craziness. I remember like 14 years ago, like a friend of my older brother was telling me about the whole sovereign citizen thing, and like also like that sovereign citizen shit's tied in with like there's no real law that says you have to pay taxes. Like it's you're just sort of allowing them to take out taxes. You don't have to, and it's just this. It's a whole fucking world of just malarkey that's sold to people, and it's absolutely bizarre.
Yep. Don't pay taxes. See what happens.
I mean, technically, they're right. You can not pay taxes.
But something will happen.
Something will happen.
Yeah. It's like I know somebody who hasn't paid his taxes, but he's like, as long as I don't lie, I like file my taxes and lie, it's just a misdemeanor, and I can what does he say? He says he can bargain down his taxes at the end of it and end up paying less taxes anyway. Which, is a shitty thing to do, but
what does he do? Like, what is he?
I'm not gonna put him on blast on stream.
Okay. Well, can you tell us what like his occupation in general? Like, is he a hairstylist or someone
He's
who
a
like
salesman?
Okay, got it.
Well, I think doing it on accident would be a misdemeanor, but showing intent,
Yeah,
would be a felony.
Right, which is why if you file and you lie and like they can prove that you lied, then yeah, they'll chase you down. But if you just say, I forgot to pay, or I didn't know I actually had to pay, then they can't really show intent. It's harder for them, especially with the way that it's like. I love how angry people get that's like, the IRS is getting funded. It's like it's the most underfunded fucking federal program right now.
Underfunded for like 10 years or more.
And it brings in the most amount of money for our fucking government.
Only do misdemeanor things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, if everybody paid... Weird thing is, if everybody paid taxes would go down.
Yep.
Weird.
Have either of you ever researched like the whole battle with the IRS versus Scientology?
No.
Aren't they trying to get it not classified as a religion because it's
so? There was I don't have the time to go into it. Next time I go down a Scientology rabbit hole, I'll send you some stuff. But there was like this huge battle. I think it was in the late 90s for Scientology to get their classification as a religion, so they didn't have to pay taxes. And there was a whole lot of shady shit that they pulled to get that classification, and like serious mob shit. Like Scientology is a wacky fucking cult. And if anybody's listening to that and is offensive, I find most religions cults. So take that into effect as you like.
Arguably, by definition, all religions are cults. It's just
right
classification.
Some are just more organized than others.
And accepted more than others.
Yeah. Like, a German Shepherd is a dog, but not all dogs are German Shepherds.
Precisely.
Okay. So, I think it is 10 o'clock, and that is where I will end for tonight. Because
Beautiful.
I am tired. But thank you all for coming to join. I really appreciate it. And
I will be taking over the stream sometime tomorrow afternoon to play some Sundered, since I have an itch to scratch with that game, and I will be scratching it hard.
Ooh.
I will be probably streaming later this week with either Skyrim, or if I want to torture myself, I picked up Daggerfall.
What?
Yeah.
As in the old game Daggerfall?
The 1998. Yeah.
Nice.
We'll see if... we'll see... I don't know how I'd convince myself to do Daggerfall. I've played through Arena and Daggerfall before. I don't want to do it again.
Wait,
Really,
Brad, what year were you born?
98. Yeah. Yeah.
He's a baby.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
I was in 6th grade when you were born.
I'm just a baby.
He's a baby, a little baby.
All right. Well,
Yeah, if I could remember how to stream my Oculus to OBS, I might do some Demio with a friend down the road as well.
all right. Well, thank you all, and I'm gonna see if I can stop the stream. All right. Like and subscribe. Join our Discord, and good night.
Good night. Shrimp on the Barbie.